All right, YouTube friends everywhere. Thanks for tuning in tonight. It's great to see you, hear you, and have you on the air. Doesn't look like there's anybody out there at the moment. Oh, maybe there are. Just a few. Yeah, it looks like somebody just dropped off too. But in any case, it's great to have both of you. Oh, and I got to mute that. That's going to drive me crazy if I don't. So let me see if I can find. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and kick things into gear and start tonight's net. Holiday traditions. Good evening, and welcome to the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. I'll be working off the flagship 675 repeater this evening, and we are linked in with the following machines: Lookout Mountain, Somerville, McDonough, Noonan, Columbus, Crawford, Jersey, Moreland, Zebulon, and of course the VoIP server that we know as Zello. Tonight our RF coverage is approximately 31,000 square miles, but we're worldwide with the features of and functionality of Zello. So any place you've got a Wi-Fi or an internet connection and a phone that can connect to it, you can make contact with North Georgia GMRS. So that is a wonderful feature, something that 947 and I enjoy quite often while we're traveling. This net takes place every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. I'd like to thank everyone who has made the North Georgia GMRS the most expansive and active network in the country. Your net control tonight is Atlanta 946, WQYR 514. My name is Justin, and I'm located here at Studio B, Woodstock, Georgia. On the net, you can talk about your day's activities, radio equipment, or anything you think we'd like to hear about. Tonight, we'd like to hear about your family traditions, holiday traditions in particular. So with the holidays upon us, I thought that would be an interesting conversation to have. Once the floor is open, it is permissible to address other members of the net by their name or their tactical unit number. Your FCC call sign is only required when you sign in and sign out of the net. We've already taken about 32 early check-ins. So let me go ahead and acknowledge our early check-ins really quickly, and then we'll come back and we'll take check-ins for the beginning of the net. So let me break. At the top of our list, I have McDonough 22. Tim in Stockbridge is in the log tonight. I have McDonough 34, Jared, also in Stockbridge, in and out. I have Atlanta 285 and Atlanta 286, CV Smith and Lynn, both in Murrayville, Georgia, in and out tonight. I've got Atlanta 780, Houston is in and out tonight from Powder Springs. Atlanta 420, William from Roswell is in and out tonight. And I have Atlanta 417, William from Auburn is in tonight. Looking forward to talking with William, as well as Columbus 40, John in Crawford, Alabama is in tonight. And Atlanta 1402, Todd incoming is in the log tonight. We have Atlanta 403, Bobby, making his first ever RF contact on the flagship machine. Great to hear from Bobby. He's in and out tonight. We have McDonough 32, Lance in McDonough, in and out tonight. We've got Atlanta 737, Charles in Gainesville, in and out tonight. We've got Chattanooga 69, Ronnie. Where did I go? I just lost my place. On the Lookout Mountain machine is in and out tonight. We have CW40, Robert in Nicholton, in and out tonight. We've got Atlanta 948, Gary in Woodstock, in and out tonight. We have Atlanta 538 and Atlanta 539, Rob and Carol, both incoming, and they're in and out tonight. Thank you, Rob and Carol, for checking in. We've got Atlanta 290. Oh, I just skipped a couple. I've got Atlanta 290, Ike in Dallas is in and out with us tonight. But I also had Atlanta 532, Tom in Flowery Branch, in and out. In Atlanta 172, Greg in Bremen, in and out. Let me break. All right, and that brings me next to CW41 Rough in Danielsville, in and out. And next I have Atlanta 20 Zach on the flagship machine checking in tonight. Thank you, Zach, for that. We have Atlanta 721 David in Southwest Paulding and Atlanta 722 Lisa also in Southwest Paulding, both in for tonight's for tonight's net. And that brings me next to Atlanta 810 John and 811 Victoria, both in Dawsonville, in and out tonight. McDonough 39 Bruce in Stockbridge is in and out. Chattanooga 100 Bob in Ringgold is in and out. Atlanta 402 Chris in Rome is in and out tonight. And I have Atlanta 299 Steve in Roswell in for the evening. And I have Chattanooga 84 Jim in Chattanooga is also in the log tonight. So that is the rundown of our early bird check-ins. At this time, I will take additional check-ins from any repeater, anywhere. Net control standing by.
This is Newman 29, WRSU 796, Marty in Tyrone. Good evening, Justin, and everybody on the net, especially the newcomers.
253 W1274, Donald from Blairsville, Georgia, check me in.
This is WRBT 591, Blue Ridge 180, Mike in Cherry Love. I'll be in and out tonight, Justin. Y'all have fun.
This is WRO 8710, Atlanta 902, Noah from Lawrenceville, and by proxy, Megan at Atlanta 903, and Josiah, Atlanta 938.
WRNQ 475 and 794 in and out.
All right, let me hold up a little bit right there because I kind of missed the last one. I'll go ahead and acknowledge what I do have. I have Noonan 29 Marty in Tyrone in this evening. It's great to hear from you, Marty. I have Atlanta 253 Donald in Blairsville in tonight. Thank you, Donald, for that check-in. And I've got Blue Ridge 180 Mike in Cherry Log in and out tonight. And then I have Atlanta 902 Noah, Atlanta 903 Megan, in Atlanta 938 Josiah in Lawrenceville. I believe that is correct. And Noah, tell me, are all of you in and out tonight, or what's the plan? Who's going to talk?
I'm in, Unit 29.
Atlanta 902. I'd like to finish your check-in with you and Megan and Josiah. Are you in tonight, or are you in and out? No, all right. I'm going to mark them as in and out because if he's not answering me now, he's probably not going to answer me later. But hopefully they'll be able to listen in along the way this evening. But thank you, Noah, Megan, and Josiah for your check-ins. I heard a check-in immediately following that, but I was still trying to enter information for the 938 and 903, and so I didn't hear what that check-in was. So station, if you would come back, and then we'll start this all over again. But let's let that station that tried to check in right there at the end go first.
WRNQ 475 and 794.
All right, I heard your call sign, and I heard 794, and then I heard a burst of static. If you could come back with your name and your location, and what's the plan for tonight? Are you in, or are you in and out?
Yes, Atlanta 704.
All right, I see in the roster we have 794 is Carl in Marietta. Carl, I'm going to put you in the log as in and out. I just can't copy you well enough to hold a conversation. So we definitely would love to hear from you. If you're able to get to a better location and want to chime in at some point along the way, please do. But for now, I've got you in the log as in and out. Atlanta 794. Carl in Marietta. I couldn't hear that, Carl. I'm just going by what I see in the roster. Net control standing by. Any additional check-ins?
Just to Mr. 902 Noah, I apologize for we had a mechanical failure. Make sure all three checking in and out. Enjoying listening. I apologize.
All right, Noah. Thank you for that clarification, and that's how I've got you listed, so that works out just fine. I appreciate you coming back and filling us in there. Hope that you all have a great evening. All right, we're going to make an opportunity for anybody who hasn't been able to check in yet to do so again later in the evening. But for now, let's go ahead and go through. We've got a lot of in and outs tonight, so it shouldn't take too terribly long to get through the roster and get back to additional check-ins. One quick announcement that I want to make, and I've talked about this several times on Facebook, but we do have some folks out there that don't participate in Facebook for various reasons, and good reasons as far as I'm concerned. But in any case, they may not be aware, so I'm going to talk about our Santa Net coming up next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. We are looking forward to having a special activation youth-only net for our youth members at 7 p.m. And that net will run as long as it runs. Once we've had a chance for all the kids that would like to come on the air and speak to Santa, once we get finished with that, then we'll go ahead and begin check-ins for a regular net. But all that will take place after the conclusion of the youth net with Santa. So I'm looking forward to hearing many of our North Georgia GMRS children come on the air with the opportunity to visit with and ask Santa any questions that they can think of. And we'll see what kind of answers Santa has for them. And of course, if they have Christmas gift wishes they would like to convey, they can do that as well. Adults are welcome to help the kids come on the air and coach them and whatever is necessary to make that exchange take place. And in some cases, I may need adults to come on the air and interpret. Sometimes I have a hard time interpreting child speak, especially when they talk fast and my brain works slow. So I might need some help from mom and dad with regards to what the children are saying, what they're asking for. So, but other than that, this is a youth-only net, so we're looking forward to just hearing the kids. Now, of course, once the youth net is closed, we will then begin a regular scheduled adult version of tonight's net. So, I think the topic next week will be something like. Well, it's right there in my mind and I can't say it. Gift ideas for North Georgia GMRS members, whether it be inexpensive radios or accessories, adapters, cables, things that people might want for the hobby for Christmas. So that's what we'll be talking about next week. This week I wanted to talk about holiday traditions. It's been an untraditional holiday season for us so far, and it looks as though the untraditional holiday season may get even weirder for us this next couple of weeks. So we're going to have to just kind of wait and see what happens. there have been some spikes in the Delta variant of COVID in the north where we intended to travel, which may impact our travel plans. And so that being the case, we're kind of in a wait-and-see mode to see how things shake out and whether or not we're going to be able to go to Indiana for the Christmas holiday. If not, then I'm sure we'll have a plan B of some sort that'll probably involve hanging out right here in Woodstock, Georgia, which is a great place to be. So that'll be okay if that's the way it shakes out. So with that in mind, tonight's topic is holiday traditions. And let's go right on up to the top of our list, and that would be McDonough 22. Tim in Stockbridge, do you have any holiday traditions, Tim, you'd like to share? Or do you have a change of pace this year like we do? All right, folks, some technical difficulties with displaying the log tonight. Don't think I'm going to be able to. Let me see if Tim's awake. McDonough 22, Tim in Stockbridge, are you available?
Sorry, Justin, you dropped out on me for a minute there. I wasn't hearing the thing. Had stepped out of the room for a second. I just put some dishes in the sink, but what was the question?
Sorry about that, Tim. Up at the timeout timer on the McDonough machine got me, and didn't even realize it. But yeah, we were talking about holiday traditions, and you know, what I was talking about was the fact that we've had an unusual holiday season this year, and it looks as though it may become even more unusual. So my question for you was, what family holiday traditions would you like to share? And you know, have you had any twists or curveballs thrown into your holiday this year?
Well, as I have said before, my family is kind of spread all out over the northwestern United States up there. I got most of the family in Montana, and my son and his family all live in Washington State, and I live by myself, so there's not a whole lot of tradition going on right now, but when my son was young and when he was growing up, our main tradition was we would get up on Christmas morning, and the first thing we'd do before any packages were opened or anything like that would be to sing Happy Birthday to Jesus.
Oh, very cool.
That we did every Christmas morning. We would open packages, some packages on Christmas Eve night, and then everything else was saved for Christmas morning. But the first thing we did was sing Happy Birthday to Jesus before we opened any packages or anything like that on Christmas morning. So that's kind of the only thing I can think of.
Well, that's a great one. Happy birthday to Jesus. And it's real easy for us to forget, you know, especially in light of all the excitement and commercialism and, you know, Charlie Brown's favorite holiday lament. You know, around the season, we can very easily lose sight of the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. And what a great way to acknowledge that, just by singing Happy Birthday to Jesus. A lot of people will go to, you know, Christmas Eve services. We did that a lot of years, but we haven't been able to do it all of those years, especially when we've traveled for the holidays. But yes, that's a great family tradition. Appreciate that, Tim. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and move on. Next on my list is McDonough 34, Jared in Stockbridge. Jared was in and out with us this evening, but I'd like to say thanks for checking in tonight. Also, I have Atlanta 285 and Atlanta 286, CV and Lynn, both from Murrayville, in and out tonight. Thanks to both of you for checking in tonight. Great to hear from you, CV. I have Atlanta 780, Houston in Powder Springs, is in and out tonight. Thank you, Houston. I hope that all is going well with you, and you know, heard some chatter this week on the air that things have begun over at the house, and so that's good stuff. Hopefully that goes well, and you get the right bathtub. Next on my list is Atlanta 420, William in Roswell, in and out. Thank you, William, for checking in tonight. And we have Atlanta 417, William in Auburn, is in tonight. William, do you have any holiday traditions you'd like to share with us tonight?
Atlanta 417. Not a whole lot. Growing up, I'm retired law enforcement, so I worked most holidays. Did get together with the family. Nowadays, the family is spread out. The son's in Arkansas, so we do get together with my wife's sister for a lunch, and we exchange packages through the mail, as slow as that may be.
Yes, and that's something that we do as well. We have been having it's not a Zoom call. It's it's on Facebook Messenger, the video chat. My family will have a video chat, and we will put a bunch of names into a hat or a bowl, and then we'll have different family members draw names. And so everybody that's going to participate puts their name in, and then we go through the list of all of the names that are in the bowl, and we pull a name out, and it can't be the same person. Like, for instance, if it's my name that's on the list and they draw a name coming out of the bowl, it can't be mine. It has to be somebody else's. But then we assign, everybody gets a person that they're shopping for Christmas. So instead of having to figure out how many presents we need to buy, we all just buy one nice gift for one another, and it's real fun. I've got my son-in-law to buy for this year, and that was really nice because he was very specific about what he wanted. In fact, he sent the shortcut for the Amazon page for the item that he wanted. So all I had to do was click on the link and click on Buy Now. And so my Christmas shopping couldn't have been any easier. I did add a little thing to it because his item was pretty inexpensive compared to what I was expecting to spend. So I made a second purchase that I hope that he appreciates. I don't know, maybe he won't, but he is going to get what he asked for. That's a Christmas by mail. I think that's the way of the future now.
Yes, Roger. That's what we usually do, is exchange a list of what you want, and like you say, it's usually on Amazon, usually real easy to shop for, and so far so good. Maybe one day we'll all be back together. And I want to wish everybody on the net Merry Christmas tonight. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that, William, and I'm sure everyone else does too. And Merry Christmas to you and your family. Well, good stuff, William. Great to hear from you tonight. And be sure and tune in next week. Would love to hear. I'm looking forward to hearing the kids, and we'll talk about Christmas wish list gifts next week. Next on my list, I have Columbus 40, John in Crawford, Alabama. John, do you have any holiday traditions you'd like to talk about?
Afternoon to you, Justin. Yes, we do something very similar to what you do. We do, the adults do a name draw out of a hat, literally. We do a little hat thing at Thanksgiving. We put a dollar value for the adult gifts. And of course, the kids, we kind of load them up. It's fun to watch them. We have grandkids and grandnieces and nephews and nieces and nephews that range, from 3 or 4 years old up to early teens. So it's kind of interesting to watch them, at Christmas. And we just sit back and enjoy it. We do have a big, giant family meal. My sister's been in charge of it for probably the last 10 years. So it's a lot of fun.
Yes. And the big family gatherings with the big old meal has always been a favorite of mine. But, COVID came around and changed some of that. So we didn't really do much of a big family gathering last year. And we didn't do one for Thanksgiving this year. And we're kind of in a holding pattern to see what our Christmas is going to be this year. We were planning on traveling to my daughter's place and visiting with family there in Indianapolis, but that may take a curve here. We'll know more later tonight. Actually, Julie's probably on the phone with our daughter right now. We'll know more about what that looks like later tonight, but it may still remain a wait and see kind of a situation. Her being in the medical profession, they are calling for all hands to address this current COVID crisis. I guess hospitals are at capacity and people are stretched very thin right now, so they are mandating some extra services from medical professionals. So, like I say, we'll just have to see what that really means when it comes down to it. But good stuff. I appreciate that, John. And next we're going to go to Atlanta 1402. Todd incoming. Todd, do you have any family traditions you'd like to share?
Hey, Justin. Great net tonight, as always. And not a whole lot. As people pass away and kids get older, it kind of gets to be more of the mundane. But my dad's been passed a long time, but we have my mom up every year for Christmas Eve and do a gift on Christmas Eve, and then our main Christmas morning. And Tim and McDonough 22, kind of stole my thunder a little bit. In my officially registered neighborhood in Sugar Hill, back when all the small kids were still around, we had a Happy Birthday Jesus party every Christmas Eve, and had a birthday cake, and all the little kids would come in and do the Happy Birthday and blow out the candles, and it was a good time.
Ah, yes, and it is for Julie and I. We're in that transitional time where our kids are grown, but the grandbabies are still little, and so we're just in a bit of a transitional time right now where we've got to travel to be with the grandkids, and so last year we weren't able to, and this year could be in the air as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all shakes out. But yeah, I think that's a great tradition. Happy birthday to Jesus for Christmas, and an excellent reminder of the what their season is really all about. So good stuff. All right, Todd. Well, thank you for participating tonight. I've got a string of in and outs that we'll go through here fairly quickly, and then we'll come back next to our next check-in, which is going to be Atlanta 20. But before we go there, I'm going to acknowledge Atlanta 403, Bobby in White County was in and out tonight. Thank you, Bobby, for your check-in. McDonough 32, Lance in McDonough was in and out. I appreciate hearing from you, Lance. We had 737, Charles in Gainesville in and out. Glad to hear from you, Charles. Hope all is well. We have Chattanooga 69, Ronnie on the Lookout Mountain Machine in and out tonight. Thank you, Ronnie, for your check-in. We've got CW40, Robert in Nicholton was in and out. Thank you, Robert. It was great to hear from you. We've got Atlanta 948, Gary in Woodstock was in and out. Gary, thanks for checking in tonight. We have Atlanta 538, Rob incoming was in and out. Rob, thank you. In Atlanta 539, Carol also incoming in and out. Carol, I appreciate checking in tonight and listening in along the way. I've got Atlanta 532, Tom in Flowery Branch is in and out tonight. I've got Atlanta 172, Greg in Bremen in and out. Thank you, Greg and Tom, for your check-ins. I've got Atlanta 290, Ike in Dallas is in and out. Thank you, Ike. Great to hear from you. And I've got CW41, Ruff in Danielsville in and out. Now I have Atlanta 20, Zach on the flagship machine. Zach, do you have any holiday traditions you'd like to share?
As far as any kind of holiday traditions, the usual, we'll go to my grandmother's for Christmas Eve and have dinner there, and then lunch. Christmas Day at my uncle's, and then we have a big family dinner at my grandfather's every Christmas evening. Besides that, some of the games that we play, sort of what you were talking about earlier, as far as assigning people to buy gifts for. We kind of do that, but when we draw the names, we kind of do it more like a Secret Santa kind of deal. So this year I've got my girlfriend's little brother, and I've been trying to kind of pick at him here and there to see what he wants. And unlike, you having luck that you did, getting a link sent right to you, I've had to pick his brain. And finally, we narrowed it down to he wanted to build a new skateboard. So we're going to get that in the works here pretty soon. Besides that, we do some holiday games. We'll get, various prizes, different gifts, gift cards, stuff like that. We'll wrap them up in Saran wrap and all sorts of other things, zip ties, whatever you can think of. And then we'll get oven mitts and a dice. And, you'll have your chance to try to unwrap it. And you'll go in a circle until somebody gets it, but you'll try to roll the dice at 6. When that happens, you'll swap from person to person. So those are some of the traditions I have.
Oh yes, we love the Saran wrap ball game, and whenever we've had Christmas parties here, you've probably heard me at some point along the way make mention of the Red 40 group, and that's a group of friends that we have that have gathered fairly regularly, but irregularly since COVID. But we've had several Christmas holidays and Christmas parties here that have included the cellophane ball, and there will be stupid little dollar store candies and dollar store toys and trinkets and stuff, and then there will be lottery tickets, and then there will be dollar bills and things of that nature. So it's a lot of fun. The cellophane game with the dice, and we don't use the oven mitts, but that's a great idea because that would sure make the game last a bit longer. But in any case, that is a lot of fun. If any of you have not played that game as a Christmas gathering game, it's a blast. And you can put the cellophane ball together for $20, or you can put $100 into it. It just depends on what stuff you buy to put in there. So you could make one pretty cheaply for the kids to play if you just wanted to do that. So that's great, Zach, and love that game. And I tell you, I think I gained 4 pounds just listening to all the food that you eat, the gatherings at various places, and that is probably my favorite part of the holiday is gathering at the table with family, and just the fellowship and the stories and the relationships and the bonds that get made over a meal. That to me is my favorite part. Something that we've kind of let slip by the wayside these last few years, just because of COVID, because we've not gathered with people like we typically would. Something that I very strongly miss and hope to be able to get back to very soon. Thank you for that, Zach. Next on my list is Atlanta 721. David in southwest Paulding County. David, do you have any holiday traditions you'd like to share?
Good evening, Justin, and good evening to everyone on the net. Just a quick question: is that buzzing gone from my transmission?
It's not as prominent, but it's not gone.
Okay. Well, the search continues. I put a new fan on my radio. That's probably it. Every year we have our annual Christmas Eve party at my mom's house, and we have been doing this for not as long as I can remember. All the family neighbors, the neighbors come over with their families, and friends have been coming over every year. So it's an old neighborhood, so everybody still knows each other, which is uncommon nowadays. But we go over there and hang out and open gifts up on the night before, and try to come up with different ideas on things to do for menu items and things like that. But and that is where I will turn it over to Lisa, because she's actually the brains of the Christmas Eve party.
All right. Well, Atlanta 722. Lisa, go ahead with your holiday traditions.
Good evening, everybody. Well, I usually, Thanksgiving is always traditional: turkey, mashed potato stuffing, things like that. But when it comes to Christmas, I just like to be different every year, and I create a different, kind of like an hors d'oeuvre menu for the Christmas Eve party that's been going on for maybe 40 years, as long, I guess that's right, 40 years, yeah. And when I first met Dave, it was, his mom was doing everything. And after a couple of years, I started to feel a little guilty. Okay, I need to start helping. So I just come up with different things every Christmas Eve to add to her menu. And usually mine is seafood related. So I like doing different things every year.
Well, fantastic. We had a very non-traditional Thanksgiving meal, and it was absolutely wonderful. We didn't have the turkey and stuffing and dressing and the sweet potatoes, and we didn't have any of that for our Thanksgiving meal. We had steak and seafood, and it was phenomenal. Now I do enjoy the turkey meal. I enjoy that immensely. And we talked about we're going to have probably a small version of that at some point through the winter, but we're not going to have it for Christmas or for Thanksgiving. So, but that was kind of a fun switch up on the holiday meal for Thanksgiving, and I don't have any idea what we're doing for Christmas, because that whole thing has just become in the air. David, as reference, if you want to look at the YouTube video to hear how we hear you, look at about the 29 or 30 minute mark for your audio, so you'll know what it is that I'm talking about with regard to that buzz. Good stuff, Lisa. I appreciate your comments, and yeah, I think the switching up the menu is a great idea, especially when you've got the core elements there, and then you can just bring in some different features to that. And I know that from our family's gatherings, whenever there have been the traditional meals, it's been a meal that goes on and on for the next 3 days, because there's so many things left over. And I know that when I sit down for the first time for that traditional Thanksgiving turkey dinner with the potatoes and the gravy, and I always go back for seconds, even though I've put too much on my plate the first time around, and I'm miserable when I'm done, but I enjoy it so much. So, that the meal time is, like I say, I think that's my favorite part of the holidays. All right, I've got a string of in and outs to go through again. Not quite as long as the other one, but let me see if I can get through them here real quick. Let me break. We've got Atlanta 810, John in Dawsonville, in and out. Thank you, John, for your check-in tonight. We've got Atlanta 811, Victoria, also in Dawsonville, in and out. Thank you, Victoria, for listening in tonight. Hopefully you still are. We have McDonough 39. Bruce in Stockbridge was in and out tonight. Thank you, Bruce, for your check-in. We've got Chattanooga 100, Bob in Ringgold, in and out tonight. Thank you, Bob, for your check-in tonight. We have Atlanta 402. Chris in Rome was in and out tonight. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate your check-in tonight. And that brings me to Atlanta 299. Steve in Roswell. Steve, do you have any holiday traditions you'd like to share?
Hello, Justin, and everybody else on the net. I'm kind of boring around Christmas. We travel for Thanksgiving and go to North Carolina and have a big dinner and a big party with that part of the family up there. But on Christmas down here this year, we're going Christmas Eve. I'll be cooking a prime rib roast and garlic mashed potatoes and green beans, and Candy will, my wife, she'll be fixing some other things to go with that, and all of our kids will be here. So that's been our tradition for the past few years. It could go a while back, and it's probably way more than anybody wants to hear. But that's what we've been doing for the past few years, and it all works out great. But I'm going to break here in a second, but I want to tell you about a special Christmas gift that is going to... Well, the radio did it for me. But down in Augusta, Georgia, our North Fulton Amateur Radio League satellite system is down there in conjunction with the Amateur Radio Club of Columbia County, and they've got a space ISS contact scheduled for tomorrow at about 10 o'clock, a little after 10 o'clock. So I think that from Savannah River Academy on their Facebook page, I understand they may be live streaming that.
Oh, cool.
If anybody's interested in that. That's a project that we've been working on for a couple of years now, actually. But so anyway, if anybody's interested in watching those kids, these are the same kids that myself and another ham talked to over repeaters to get them ready for this about a month ago. But it may be interesting to watch. Back to you, Justin.
Oh, that does sound really interesting. So, you know, I know that Joe Domaleski's club has engaged in some of these activities as well. And what Steve's talking about is that there's a school class that is actually going to be able to sit and use a radio to talk to astronauts on the space station as it makes its pass overhead. So usually it's about a 10-ish minute window that you get to talk to the space station as it makes its pass. The North Fulton Amateur Radio League has a very cool aimable antenna array that they're able to use that can track the satellite through the sky as it makes its pass overhead, and with that they may actually get maybe 12 or 14 or several more minutes out of the conversation because their antenna is actually elevated and the array will move and track with the space station as it moves through the sky overhead. So a very cool set of equipment and a very cool set of circumstances that allows kids to be inspired and engage in STEM activities. And that's great stuff. So that happens tomorrow. What time was that, Steve? And can you tell me the name of the school again?
Sure, Justin. The school is Savannah River Academy. It's in Augusta, Georgia. It's the actual contact is scheduled for Friday, December 10th at 10:09:58. So it's down to the seconds right before 10:10, I guess, a.m. And I understand there's going to be a Facebook Live feed from there if anybody cares to watch.
All right. So I'm going to get the name of the school wrong. I'm going to ask you for it one more time. So, folks, if you're interested, when Steve comes back with the name of the school, make a note of that and search for their YouTube presence or for their Facebook presence, and see if you can catch that live stream. That sounds really cool, and what a great opportunity for the kids. Steve, even if we can't watch it live, I hope that you'll post a link to a playback that we can watch, because I'd just like to see the kids react to the opportunity to talk to actual astronauts in space. That's not something that, that's not an opportunity all students are going to have. And what a cool thing. If that's something that your school's science department would be interested in pursuing, it can be made to happen. I don't know what steps have to take place, and I don't think it's something you're going to arrange through the course of a matter of a couple of weeks and a handful of phone calls. I think, like Steve pointed out, it takes a significant amount of planning and coordination with
within a 2-week window, and we only found out 2 weeks ago when it was going to take place. So it takes those kind of commitments to make it happen. And again, Savannah River Academy, just like Savannah, Georgia. It's actually in Augusta, but it's Savannah River Academy. Back to you, Justin.
All right, I made a note this time. Savannah River Academy in Augusta. I'm gonna do a little Googling on that and see if I can catch that tomorrow while it's happening. I think that'd be a lot of fun to watch. So, good stuff. Well, Steve, you're always bringing new and interesting things to us in pursuit of radio, and I very much appreciate that. And also appreciate your comments with regard to your family traditions. And many of us tonight have family scattered here and there. So, yeah, I understand the traveling about, but having a gathering and having the family come to you is also a very cool thing. So something that that I would very much enjoy. I don't think is going to happen for a while, but maybe we can twist things in the future to happen in that sort of a way. For folks that are on YouTube live stream, I am aware that it dropped out. I believe I have it recovered, but I have no explanation. There were no buttons being pressed. I don't have the full functionality with the switching back and forth into the log that we typically have. So there's just no reason whatsoever for that to have dropped, but it did. And all I can say is we do have some equipment in-house. We don't have it up and running yet. I still need to learn how to operate it, but we hope to be making some large improvements in the live stream here sometime probably early next year. So stick with us, and I think that will improve. Thank you, Steve, for your comments. That brings me next to Chattanooga 84, Jim in Chattanooga. Jim, do you have any holiday traditions you'd like to share?
Hey, Dustin. No, it's just me and my 2 kids and their spouses. We get together and do something on Christmas Eve, and then we get together on Christmas morning, have breakfast, and that's pretty much it. I mean, we're all happy with that, and it works for all of us.
Very good. Well, and family is the most important thing, and that's the thing that I am hoping to be able to engage in this year is gathering with the biggest portion of our family. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But good stuff, Jim. Thank you for your comments tonight. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Noonan 29. Marty in Tyrone. Marty, do you have any holiday traditions you'd like to share?
Good evening again, Justin, and everybody on the net, especially all the new voices and new folks that are out here. Glad to have you aboard. Well, I have to say, just like a lot of the other folks there, we used to have a lot more traditional activities than we do today. And I think it largely stems from the fact that we've all grown up and the families spread out all over the countryside, and everybody seems to be too busy. And then a pandemic came along. Kind of made a big mess of things. We would really miss that, but hopefully we can have that at least to some degree return to some semblance of normality. I don't know what that really means at this point. We need to reset the repeater. Should also note that the Noonan repeater seems to time out a little bit sooner. I can still hear you on the Moreland repeater when you did time out Noonan, so something may need to be looked at there on the timer. But as far as traditions go, since we're here and there's no other family here, everybody's either in California, New Jersey, or who knows where, all over the countryside. My wife's got folks in Germany, so it would be a really difficult challenge to kind of make. You'd have to make almost a world travel tour to see everybody, and or fund a big. Maybe I could do a little funding and bring them all here. That's what I'll do. What I'll try to do next year, if the pandemic doesn't take us all out, or the variant of the month comes along, something like that. That's about it. Hopefully everyone has a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year this year. I wish the best to everybody, yourself included, and we hope to see things improve. Back to net from Noonan 29.
You're right about one thing, Marty, and that is that the tendency of our old traditions have kind of gone to the wayside. And I strongly feel that COVID is a big part of that. But I think that you're right, too, about the fact that we're just, it's a different age. And, the younger folks have different priorities and different interests. And so, my kids don't appreciate the traditions quite like we do. I don't know why. But I've been informed that none of my kids care to have a turkey meal at Thanksgiving. They have no interest in it whatsoever. So Julie's folks enjoy it. I enjoy it. And but when it comes to the big vote, what are we going to do this year? The kids say, let's do seafood. Let's do something other than turkey. So traditions have kind of our kids have killed them. They have other traditions that they want to do, and that is they want to do things like go out to eat for Thanksgiving. And I don't want to put other people, on the burden of missing their holiday because they have to work to serve us. So the compromise is that we're not going to go out to eat, but we're going to have something good but non-traditional. And when you've got family all over the world, I guess you'd have to start your world tour early, maybe June or July, August. Start the tour, and hopefully you can have it wrapped up in time for the holidays. I don't know. If you've got family in too many places, you might have to start earlier than that. We've got a nephew in Italy, so that'd be a great idea. We should go to Italy next year for Thanksgiving. I don't know if that'll work or not. And like you say, the variant of the month, you just don't know what to expect in terms of abilities to travel. And there's no travel restriction that we're facing in terms of this outbreak of COVID in the north. It's really whether or not our kids are going to be available to spend time with us, or if they're going to be mandated by their employers to be at work the whole time and be too exhausted to have any quality time. So that's a situation that we're looking real strong at. But some great points. And with that, Marty, I think I'm going to go ahead and move on to Atlanta 253. Donald in Blairsville. Donald, do you have any holiday traditions you'd like to share?
And good evening to the rest of the net. I usually go to my grandmother's Christmas Eve morning, and then we do something with my dad's brother either on Christmas Day or the day after Christmas. Go ahead and check me out of the net, Justin.
All right. Well, I tell you, that sounds like going to Grandma's house and then your uncle's house for the next day. Those are the kind of family traditions that I kind of wish that we still had. But our kids have grown to the place where those things they're just not that doable anymore. I think we ruined it when we moved to Georgia. It's my fault that my family is so spread out, but it's also been good. I mean, we may have ruined the holiday tradition thing, but we've been able to instill some new traditions and some new activities. So it's all good in the end. So good stuff, Donald. I appreciate your check-in tonight. I've got you checked out, so you're off the hook at this point forward. I appreciate that. The rest of my check-ins are all in and outs, but let's go through them real quick. We have Blue Ridge 180, Mike in Cherry Log was in and out tonight. Thank you, Mike, for your check-in tonight. It was great to hear from you. As well as Atlanta 902, Noah in Lawrenceville was in and out. And 903, Megan in Lawrenceville, also in and out. And 938, I think I heard, was Josiah's tactical unit number in Lawrenceville, in and out. So appreciate that, Noah, for you getting your family involved. And I have Atlanta 794, Carl in Marietta, in and out. And that's the end of my list. So if we have any additional check-ins, now would be the time. Net control standing by. All right, I had a tough copy on that, but I think I recognize the name, the voice. I think I heard CW14 Steve in is it Athens, I believe. Steve, if that's correct, give me some acknowledgement. And but I had a really tough time hearing you there. So, but if that's correct, we've got you in the log, and we'll go ahead and show you as in and out. Come back and let me know if that's right, Steve. Okay, I heard that is correct. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. Thanks for checking in tonight, Steve. It's great to have you in the log. I've got you in here as in and out. Do we have any other late check-ins? Net control standing by.
WROP907 ATO 1106 Brandon out of Winder.
All right, I believe that was Atlanta 1106, Brandon in Winder. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right, Brandon. Do you have any holiday traditions you'd like to share?
No, just me and my daughter, we pray every night. That's something new we started, doing. I guess, well, it's the first Christmas she was born, so, yeah.
Well, that is a great habit and a great routine to instill in your children. And so first Christmas is exciting stuff. She may not understand a lot of what's going on this year, but in the years to come, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with your children at Christmas time. Hope that you're able to tune in next week. Again, your daughter may be a little bit young for the Santa Net, but if it's successful next week, we hope to be able to make this an annual thing. We had a Santa Net in the prior year, and we had 0 participants. So we're hoping that we can change that this year and have a fair number of our North Georgia GMRS youth engage with Santa. And if it's successful this year, we can probably talk him into it next year. So I'm hoping that we have a good turnout next week. But again, Brandon, if this is your daughter's first Christmas, it may be a little bit early to get her on the air for Santa next week. But hope that you'll tune in and listen nonetheless. All right, Net Control is going to take another standby for any additional check-ins. Any questions or comments?
This is Atlanta 420 with a comment. Over.
All right, William, go ahead with your comment.
Just noticed at the beginning you were mentioning about next week's kids net there. For anyone that's got small children, In Roswell, they have a little thing called Santa's Village. It's done in the Waverly Hall subdivision, and I could post some pictures they've done from the past. They do a little train there that the kids can be on, and it is a beautiful little thing, and it's free to the public there. The guy does it with his own funding there, and it's really beautiful there. So if for those that are in the mood there, they could always look that up there and make their way out there with the small ones and have a wonderful evening there if they go out and do some shopping there. Over.
Santa's Village. You say that's in Waverly?
It's in Roswell, Georgia, just a little bit, just down the road from me, and it's in the Waverly Hall subdivision.
Waverly Halls subdivision in Roswell, Georgia. Okay, yeah, that would be something I think parents may have some interest in, especially the ones that are local to this area. And we do have a lot of members in this region, so yeah, definitely post something. And if you have some information or a link to a website or just some directions and a schedule of some sort. That would be great. I think lots of folks would enjoy taking their kids. If I had kids to take, that would be something that I would probably enjoy. So it's kind of fun watching the Rugrats run around and enjoy that sort of thing. 947 and I went to the lights up at Veterans Park there outside of Canton last weekend, and that was pretty enjoyable. We drove through it a couple of times, and it's pretty neat to see all the colors and all the displays that they have. So, and always enjoyed that. We've gone to Callaway Gardens a couple of times, talking about going again this year for their light show, and you know, I don't know how engaged kids are going to be sitting in a car for a light show like that, but I would try it. It would be worth a try. So good stuff, William. I'm going to take one more break for any additional check-ins, any comments or questions. Net Control standing by. All right, I think we're going to wrap this thing up.
Control, WRKN 464, Atlanta 1402. Justin, you mentioned that you broke the holiday tradition by moving down south from Indiana, but you have that tiki bar. You get to deck out for the holidays. I hope you have Christmas lights on there. But with that, WRKN 464, Atlanta 1402. I'll be clearer than that.
Yes, and we've had a very fun Christmas party at the Tiki Bar last year. We had far too many people in light of the COVID situation that was going on last year, but I'm not aware that we had any spreader events. One of the things that was made available last year at the Tiki Bar Christmas party, everyone in attendance received a face mask. So it was gift wrapped in a neat little box, and and with that, about a third of the people actually used them. But in any case, we had a great time, and I'm not aware that anybody became ill afterwards. So it was cold out on the deck. We had rented some of those propane-powered patio heaters, and those things are great for an outdoor event this time of year. I have two of them of my own now. So yes, we can enjoy the Tiki Bar even this time of year. So matter of fact, I was just out there this morning cooking my breakfast on the griddle out there. So I appreciate that, Todd. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I think we've come to the place where it's just time to do that. So this will conclude the North Georgia GMRS Regional Net. Tonight we had a total of 41 check-ins, including myself. Net Control will now be returning the repeater back to normal use. Everyone who signed in should sign out. Before we close this up, I just want to make one more reminder that next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. we'll have a special activation youth event for the SantaNet. And I hope that all the parents listening will engage their children on the air to speak with Santa. So thank you for allowing me to serve as your net control this evening. Good night, everyone. This is Atlanta 946, WQIR 514. My name is Justin, and I'm clear.
Atlanta 295, WRFN 658, tail gunner.
All right, 295. I'm going to put you in the log. Do you have any comments for the net for holiday traditions?
No, sir, you've closed the net. Just check me in and out, please. Have a good Christmas.
All right, Atlanta 295, Scott in Dallas. You've got number 42. You are the tail gunner. So thank you for that. Hope that you have a Merry Christmas. Look forward to talking with you soon.
Atlanta 295 clear. Thank you.
B320 signing off.
All right, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm sorry about the hiccup. I don't understand it, but that's part of why we are migrating to a new system. So we have some fancy new hardware here. I don't have it operational yet. We've got new cameras. We have new. It's called an A10 Mini Extreme ISO. It's a video switching board. As soon as I learn how to use it correctly, we get the graphics that we need imported to it, so that we can do our intros and our extros. Then we'll begin using this. So likely it'll be early next year. That we start using the new streaming device, and it works without having a computer attached. So whatever is causing our hiccup with the live stream, we should be able to escape, unless it's YouTube itself. If it's the website itself that's causing it, I can't fix it. We may have to go to a different provider, and if that happens, we'll take a look at what's out there. I know that some of those services can get expensive, but I'm hearing about a service called Twitch that we might take a look at, and we'll consider whatever options are out there to make this thing happen and make it right. I'm a one-man band when it comes to the video production, so one of the things that I wanted to do was run tonight without a lot of switching, because it was my suspicion that the switching was causing the interruptions, but that does not appear to be the case. So we're going to keep on keeping on and working towards making this good and something that you folks can enjoy. So thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll look forward to seeing all of you on the air again very soon. This is Justin, WQIR 514 Atlanta 946, and I'm clear.